विहंगम योग के सिद्धांत को इंग्लिश में बता पाऊँ। मैं शुरू करना चाहूँगा कि मैं आपको ब्रह्म विद्या के प्रथम भूमि और द्वितीय भूमि की साधना के बारे में इंग्लिश में थोड़े समय तक बताऊंगा। उसके बाद आप परम संत विज्ञान देव जी की वाणी सुनेंगे, फिर श्री स्वामी जी की अमृतवाणी होगी। सो टू स्टार्ट विथ how this vihangam yoga works, I will just take you to the first stage and second stage of vihangam yoga. The first stage, the very first stage of vihangam yoga, it starts how your mind functions. Like, the man has always been in search of truth and real happiness. But there's one thing that has always eluded humanity, that it's mind. And the universe that is very much present to you is nothing but the mass energy that exists outside and inside of us as well. So whatever you happen to see outside world is very much what we are made of. So the technique of meditation, the technique of vihangam meditation leads you in the same path where you can find yourself with the energy that is present in this universe. And the best way to align yourself with that energy, that vibration that is present in the universe, to start with your mind, to start with the practice that taps the potentialities of your mind in a right manner, in a proper manner. Our present condition cannot allow us to feel that energy, to feel that vibration that is all around us. And maybe the pranayama is one of the endeavor through which we try to collect ourselves. Before we start the session, we had a short duration time for pranayama as well. So your mind and prana is closely connected, is intertwined. And unless you understand how your mind works, you won't be able to make any significant progress as far as the spirituality is concerned. So Anand Safaldev Ji Maharaj, he has explicitly mentioned in his Swar Veda that the very practice of the first stage of Vihangam Yoga meditation takes you from where you are, from the state of bewilderment and confusion, because you are always surrounded with a lot of choices in life today. In this age and time where you have been bombarded and you almost find yourself totally bewildered with the number of choices that this world presents to you today. But the technique of meditation says, the technique of Brahma Vidya meditation says that through the practice, through the correct method of practice, you can understand, you can actually get to know how your mind works. There are times when you don't realize why things happen the way it does. And you always find yourself asking this question again and again, why this? The life throws you different surprises. sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant. When something unpleasant happens, you keep asking this. So, with the meditation practice, with the practice of vihangam yoga, first of vihangam yoga, you actually get into the nuances. You get into the subtleness, the very subtleties of our mind, and we get to know all that things, all the machinations that mind creates in path to God realization, in path to the self-realization. So the first thing is to know who we actually are. And that starts with understanding how our mind works. So, Sri Swamiji says that it starts with the pranayama. We start with the exercises and the first stage of vihangam yoga, where we try to connect our breath and concentration at a particular place in our body. And if we keep focusing at one point at a particular place of our body, our mind gets weakened. It is really weak at that point. And then what happens? There is a sense of compassion, there is a sense of serenity that exists all inside you. For example, if it's like you become aware about self, it's about creating awareness about yourself. And that creation of awareness leads you from confusion, from doubt to thought of clarity, from bewilderment to the decision-making power. And then the second stage of vihangam yoga, where the Ingla, Pingla and Susmana, they are three veins that exist very much inside us, where we try to connect these three veins all together at once. And when the mind takes a bathe, when the mind bathes itself in the confluence of what we call inside that, there is a river, there is a very sacred river that flows in our country, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. Saraswati is like hidden. So that Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati exists very much inside. And when the mind bathes itself in the confluence of these three rivers, there is a transformation in life. There is a massive change in our thought process, because the mind has totally been cleansed. The mind has been totally purified. So this method of meditation is actually very practical and pragmatic, and does not fail on the ground of pragmatism. But it has to be done in the guidance, under the guidance of Sadguru. And you may have so many lights on here. You can see the light. But if there is no power, there won't be any light. There may be many equipments. The mind does not just come right in front and play its game. For example, I can give you example here. If you are nicely seated here, you are pleasantly seated here, while your mind takes you far away from this room. And sometimes it says